I'm John Davies with GreenBiz, and I'm here at GreenBiz Studio with Rebekah Moses, Head of Impact Strategy at Impossible Foods. Welcome, Rebekah.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, Rebekah, Verge is all about sustainability and technology sort of coming together. And we were just talking about Impossible Foods being a technology company. What do you mean when you say that?
Right. I mean, that kind of encompasses multitudes, right? So we're a food tech company, but the reason that we're founded, and this is kind of that sustainability story, is we're really a planet company. So finding ways to leverage tech to create a more sustainable food system, especially as we scale, add billions more people on the planet, and really see an increase in demand for really high resource using products like dairy, meat products. So finding ways that we can apply technology to develop products where consumers don't have to have any kind of compromise. They can just have the same product that they've grown up with and loved, like a burger or a ground beef, for so long, without having to change any kind of behavior or anything. So it's a nice climate tool, but scalable across all of these different groups.
So I think that's an interesting choice of words. You say it's a tool. What do you mean when you say it's a tool?
Right. I mean, what we ended up doing, so we've been around since 2011. And the company for the first several years was focused on that technology component, right? So finding ways that we can replicate the experience of eating, in this case, ground beef. That's our flagship product. Finding ways that we can replicate that where consumers don't have to make some big adjustment to their life. And so in order to do that, we had to reverse engineer, basically, at a molecular level, what makes beef taste so good, makes it cook the way that it does, smell the way that it does. But we didn't just do that for beef. So we had this technology platform that we've maintained where we have been able to launch the ground beef product, but also have an ability to launch any other number of products, whether it's dairy, pork, chicken. All of these things can be commercialized. Now, the significance in terms of climate, especially in regards to a ground beef product, is that when a consumer substitutes our product for a beef product, they're using vastly less resources in terms of what they're putting on their plate. And so just to give you an example of our kind of the statistics around it. So the Impossible Burger, just replacing a beef burger with us, uses 96% less land, about 87% less water, and has 89% lower greenhouse gas emissions. So if you think about all the different consumers that we're accessing, and about 90 to 95% of them are omnivores. They eat meat on a regular basis. That's what we want. We want displacement, not kind of adding lanes on the highway. What that means is you have a climate mitigation tool in the hands of all of these people. So it's little kind of individual levers for change where we're reducing the amount of GHGs that are going out into the world. But at the same time, sparing that land means at a certain scale over time, what you end up with is the ability to sequester carbon in those landscapes as well. So you're avoiding deforestation, avoiding kind of an extensive agricultural footprint, while also avoiding the emissions and capturing carbon.
Last question. Let's talk about scale. So I first had an Impossible Burger at Jardiniere. We were just discussing that, and it was sort of a unique thing that you could actually go someplace and have one. But now they're going everywhere. So where are you and where are you going as far as scaling this?
Right. I mean, I came into the company kind of right before we launched in 2016, and we had, one followed by four, flagship restaurants that we worked with. One of them was Jardiniere and Tracy Desjardins, the chef de cuisine there. And so what we've seen now is since 2016 and where we are, we have added, I want to say it's 17,000 restaurant customers, as well as launched on the West Coast for grocery stores at Gelson's, and then very recently, a couple of weeks ago, coinciding with Climate Week, actually in New York, at Fairway and Wegmans. So the significance for me is that all of these people, especially the omnivores, the carnivores, as they're having access to our product, that just means greater environmental impact scale. So it's really important for us to be everywhere, and that means available to any kind of range of restaurants. So from White Castle and Burger King, better burger restaurants, up through fine dining like Jardiniere. It's it's a ground beef product, so you can really tailor it to whatever kind of cuisine you would normally with ground beef.
I've been here with Rebekah Moses, Head of Impact Strategy at Impossible Foods. Thanks, Rebekah.
Thank you so much for having me.